Hello and greetings to you, viewer from across the tubes. I am Gnarly Quack, although my friends and enemies call me Carl, and I'm back today working on Dr. Strangetest, my testing framework for PHP. Don't quite have my windows sorted out here, but I'm basically going to pick up where I left off yesterday, although I think I'm going to start off by, by undoing, I guess, I guess what I'm thinking of is an hour and a half of my life that I'll never get back. At the end of my stream yesterday, I kind of went down this rabbit hole of doing some refactoring on the events that we're using as to basically to log test results, and I feel like it just ended up with me doing a lot of typing and looking busy without any real reason. And I don't actually think it made things any better. And I don't know why I decided to go down that rabbit hole or why I thought that was a good idea, but I think I'm going to start off by just sort of nuking those changes. So let me just see where I am. So what I kind of started doing was I finished sort of cleaning up how we're storing run information, and to kind of continue that process, I had gone through to put reflection into the framework and using reflection to sort of hold all of the discovered test information. And that wasn't a mistake because we need to use reflection anyway to add support for attributes. So you no longer need to explicitly mark your classes or methods or tests as, well, attributes allow you to mark them as tests, which means you no longer need to explicitly name them or start their names with the word test. So instead of starting them with the word test, you can just mark them with a test attribute. And so in order to get that to work, we did need to add reflection to the framework, so that I won't undo or won't be undone. But then I was figuring, well, as long as we're using reflection now, maybe we can just hold on to these reflection instances and then use that to pull off our test information as we need it later on when we're actually running those tests. But it turned out to be a little bit of a pain in the butt because, we go through and we parse the files and the identifiers, and we know we have all this stuff. We know we have a file. We know we have a line number. But reflection doesn't necessarily assume that these things are reflecting on code that's in a file. And so every time we try and pull off our test information from the reflection class, we basically have to do, well, right now I'm doing an assertion, but the short of it is we essentially have to do a check to make sure we actually got something back from reflection, which we don't actually need to do because, as I said, we just manually parsed everything and know that we have this stuff. So we're going to use our own structures now, our own classes to save that stuff off at discover time. So we know, and then once we've used reflection to check for attributes, we can just sort of discard all that stuff, which again also isn't ideal, which kind of makes attributes they feel a little bit heavyweight having to use reflection, but it is what it is. So, well, like I said, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to nuke these changes where I did this stuff with the refactoring of events. So let me just see what we have up on the server, or on GitHub, I should say. So we'll get rid of that events branch, and then I'm just going to get rid of the events branch locally, and then that rebase branch, which basically just rebased the reflection branch, which is the work that we're doing to sort of pull reflection back out. The rebase branch was just the reflection branch rebased on the events branch. Anyway. Okay, so I guess we're just going to get right back here into Discover. Let me just check out my notes real quick. I don't know that I really left any notes. Actually, I still have some old notes in here, so I guess I will clear those out. And I'm probably going to need to, it's a little bit chilly today, and I may actually go throw my hoodie on, my hoodless hoodie. But I may have to turn the fan on my little neck here. It's I can hear it starting to pant. So yeah, what I wanted to do was pull up the tests file, which is where we hold all of our test information. And so one thing as as I sort of make this transition from reflection, and here we've already switched from reflection class to just a struct or a class that I'm calling class info. And that was fairly straightforward, and that was just kind of initial dipping of the toe in the water. But one thing I'm kind of also wondering about is with reflection functions, right? As soon as we discover a function, because those are, I don't know how you want to describe them, statically defined, we can just sort of instantiate or get a callable off of that as soon as we discover it. And then we can just sort of hold that callable until runtime when we can actually call that. But reflection methods are a little bit different because we actually need to get an instantiated instance of the class with which these methods are associated. So that we can just save off the information, but I'm wondering then if at runtime, because when we're testing just like straight up functions or classes, we have sort of some common functions that are called out to sort of run those functions and then handle any sort of exceptions or anything, or sometimes handle return values. But there's some common functions that we call off to. I'm wondering if there's a way to sort of structure this so that once we grab an instance of this class, we can just sort of, I don't know how you want to describe it, convert basically this method info into like a function info or a class, or not a class, but a callable info. So I'm not quite sure how to do that or to what extent we can sort of make that a clean process. But I think because there isn't actually anything callable here in the reflection method, because right, I think we just have to change these reflection methods and then these reflection functions. So I think I'm going to start with these reflection methods, changing these to, I guess we'll just call it a method info. And so where do I have? We have a method test. So I guess we'll just swap all these out. And I feel like this method test is becoming a little bit silly. It's just the name and the method, which, although I guess the name, right, the name has the class name sort of appended or prepended to it. And this kind of seems a little bit silly to me now too, but I don't know. Well, one step at a time, I suppose. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did when I added the class info, where I'm just going to start this off as an empty, basically an empty class with no properties. And then from there, as things break, we can sort of just organically figure out what we need to add to this. So actually, I guess it's called reflection method. So I guess what we'll do is we'll just swap that with method info. We'll just do that everywhere. Save that, and then see what sort of disaster we've created. And actually, while PHP Stand is sorting through that, which I guess it just did, I actually am going to go see if I can find my hoodie real quick. My hoodless hoodie and throw that on. So give me like 2 minutes to go find that, because I'm feeling a little chilly even as my nook is heating up. Yeah, I'll be right back. All right, and I took the liberty of grabbing a banana too, so you may occasionally see me pop a bite of banana in my mouth. It's weak, you know. We've had some lovely days here in September. It's like we have, I think, some of the nicest weather of the year right now, and hopefully that'll continue into October. But I feel like we're approaching those days where things are starting to cool off a little bit, and but the building heat doesn't kick on yet. So there's going to be some days where it's maybe like 50 or so, and I'm just sitting here freezing my butt off because the building heat hasn't kicked in yet. Okay, but with that that I guess complaint out of my way, let's get in here because this might actually end up being all I end up doing today. Because I do have some other things I need to get done. So I guess we're just gonna change this to a new method info. And will that fix up discovery? That will fix up discovery. But what are we needing now in... I guess we need a class, we need a name. And then we need that file name and start line. And then we are setting the name. I guess we were pulling... I guess we were pulling that right off of the reflection method. So I guess we'll stick that class in there. And so what do we have? We have method class, and I guess we're getting name. That's going to be name. Let's see if that works. That should break discovery because we don't actually have those defined on the method info. Actually, let's split that. Oop, okay, so I guess I got to remember to try and use the shortcuts, I guess. So what we're going to have here is a class string, I guess. And this is going to be name. And I guess I may just throw a little piece of documentation in here that the name. This is just the method name. In other words, the class name is now appended to it. And I guess, I don't know, maybe I'll document this too. I guess I could put it after here, I don't know. And then let's just sort that out. Okay, so now we still need this file name and start line, which I guess I'll just yank these from up here. So now what do we have here? We do have reflection method, but the file should be the same as the class, right? This does return false. Because again, I guess if this is like an internal class that I'm reflecting on, uh, like basically written in C or whatever the language of the interpreter is, which is C, I guess there may not be like a start line. So I guess in this case, there's actually, even if we like come up here and sort this out later, I don't know that there's a way to not do this without having to sort of pull this out of the reflection method, because we're not, the one thing we're not actually manually parsing are methods on a class, because after we find a test class, we can just use one of PHP's various reflection functions to sort of just pass or grab all the methods to find in there. So I guess what we'll do is boy, and we'll do method line, make it start line. I don't know, maybe we put that up there. So now we can just and really, I don't know, we can, I guess, grab right, we have the class info. So maybe instead of this, what we'll just do is we'll assert that the class, what do we have? Class test file equals oh my gosh, what am I doing there? All right. So I guess we can do that maybe. And then we'll just set this method file. Instead of this, we'll just do, because I guess something could get really screwy where that's interesting. I don't know that I actually care to test it, but I guess something could get screwy where, like in the middle of a class definition, you could include another file. Because I think kind of like C, when you include a file in PHP, it basically just like pastes that file. Not completely. There's a little bit of weirdness that goes on there. But I don't know. I guess if this assertion fails, then we can just grab the file name off the method. But that seems extraordinarily odd to me, and I'm not even sure that would work. So let's see what happens there. So it looks like Discover is still working okay. So let's go here into, this is what, dependency. I guess we'll go Go there. So what are we using file here for? Maybe we'll just grab the file off there, but we shouldn't need that assertion anymore because we're using file so often here. I think it'd be better just to pick that off. Here we can I guess I don't really need to do this, but what I can do here is I guess that's going to go to that. And I feel like I kind of want to take this to a sprintf. So that'll take care of what, where are we? When we are on, okay, so 142, I think. So this is going to go to the same thing here. Rid of all of that. And then 123. Okay. I think that's it there. Let's see what that looks like. Did I not? Oh. Well, dang. Okay. Right, because we've got... So what are we grabbing dependency off of here? Okay. So this is going to be a touch gnarly because, right, as we make this transition, we're going to have to, like it says right here, handle cases of both a method info and a reflection function. So this is okay. So I guess in this case, what we can do is Otherwise, we'll do dependency test get file name. I think that'll work. Just check that on 384 there. Yeah. And dependency is up there, I guess. What are we on? 305. So I guess for now here, we're going to have to do... what are we getting here? Dependency. And where are we at? 157. Let's just go up here, see what dependency is. It's a function dependency. So that can be either a method test or a function test. So I guess, where are we here now? 156. What did I change there? Oh, I guess I started to add this. So otherwise, we're going to have to do... This is going to come back down to that. This is going to be... We're going to have to... I guess it doesn't matter. So let me just see what that looks like. I feel like something did not... I guess we need this assertion in here still. And what's wrong on 321? Okay, 143. So this is going to be the same kind of nonsense here. Okay, and I suspect I'm going to have to do this again up here. Okay, so I guess that takes care of dependency. So we're going to have to do the same sort of thing here, I guess. So, Just see what that sorts out. Okay. And I'm just going to preemptively yank all this because I suspect we will be doing this. Actually, we won't be doing that here. So where are we using file here? I guess up here. So we can get that, I guess. Just check that. Okay, 650. So this is okay. Expects reflection method. So I guess there's no way to really type hint in PHP stand a method string. I don't know. I seem to be getting a lot of nonsense test result or search results there. A callable string, that's not what we want. Okay, so I guess so there is this function here. And I wonder if I don't think I can use the first class callable syntax. Oh, I guess I can. Okay, so let's pop open eval.org here. And I guess we'll just get a class foo function do it. So what do we want to do? We want to get and well, what's the signature on that? I guess we just pass in the callable. Oh, and I guess I guess what we'll do is else we do need to set callable to something. Where's the problem here? 19? I did that double quotes so I could put in a new line and then just didn't do it. Huh, so what am I doing then here? Oh, I see what's happening. We're not, right, because I think when we end up actually invoking this, we're passing arguments, so then we're invoking it through call user funcs or something, or call user func array. So I guess it doesn't really matter if I test that, but I guess let's just try this. Is it 2 or 3? 3. Because I'm minimizing all the wrong windows there. So I guess what we want to do is actually change this to method. So I guess this is we're saying this is only an 8.1. Oh, this is even a parse error. Okay, this doesn't even parse. All right, so I guess these are our options then. So I wonder what happens if I assume who calls this? That calls it. That calls it. Okay, well, it's called enough where. I tell you what, the amount of fishing that happens today, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So we want if method exists, we want closure. Let me just look this up real quick. Boy, I'm having a. Okay, so it's the string is a name, I guess, the class name. And what was it from callable? And what does this actually do? It throws a type error. So I suppose we should maybe handle that. Um, we only because it only so the type error. Maybe I put a question mark on there. But this should never happen because we only reflect on public class methods. I guess they're not really caught. I don't know. So I suppose we should I guess we need to pass that in like that. Otherwise, and this is actually backwards compatibility on what now? Seven 7.1, I think. So let's just stick that in there while we're waiting on that. So I think this is gonna PHP Stan is gonna choke on that, I think. So if that does, I may restructure that. Well, not may, but oh well, that's a good point. This is a good point. So yeah, I guess what we're gonna do is we'll just set this. And I think the point of that, and I don't know, maybe it's not even worth it. Who knows? Um, because I feel like this could actually be a little bit more performant if we actually return a callable. I don't know. So anyway, in that case, I feel like we should never really have to handle this. So I don't know. So what's going on here? This has name. Just see if that makes that happy. Looks like it. And this is going to be class, turn on object. All that'll go away. Where was that? 650? Yeah. I guess that should have been name. So run method. So test it. So it expects parameter 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Expects a reflection method, and it got a method info. Okay. Well, that's true. Before I deal with that, let's just see if there's another place up here where... So this is what class, setup object. Yeah. I think that's what we're saying there. And then 191. This is going to go to... Yeah, so... I think we want to stick the namespace in there. So who is using this class? Let me just comment that out real quick. Where else was that being used? Dependency was... Okay, so I guess we don't need necessarily like the short class name. So we're gonna have to set that then. And I guess that's gonna come right off of actually what we're getting that off of the do we have so we're gonna have to actually add right because this is getting down here, this is getting class info. So I suppose one thing we could do is maybe we could just hold a reference to a class info and a method info. So let's just do that. Then we'll yank that out of there. Then we're gonna want and I guess we'll put this so we'll do that, and then this is going to go to class equals, I guess, just this info. So let's see what that does for us. Uh, 430. Okay, 426. Okay, now back here and run. So I don't know, we broke something else, but this is going to be test class namespace. We're not setting the namespace, are we? Info name. Was it something stupid like get namespace name? I think what we can do here then is we can tack on the terminating namespace booby, which means you don't need to do that there. Uh, Okay, that all seems to work. Although, let me just... Oh, I guess... One thing I want to do is I just want to comment this out again real quick just to see where we're accessing that, because I just want to make sure... Okay. I just want to make sure that we're not like double appending now the namespace separator. And it may not actually even matter. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But now I've got to come down here and fix up run method. So this is, I guess we're saying this is now a method info. So this is going to be name, I believe. And then this is all going to go away. This is going to go to teardown method file, I guess, in line. Let's see what that does. Seems to be making everybody happy. I feel like, oh, whatever. Whatever. That might be it. At least for static analysis. Oh. That might be it now. Okay, and now we broke something. Okay, well, 648. How is that? A reflection method. So what are we doing here? Are we not? Oh, I see what's going on there. Right, validate fixture here, right? PHP stand is punting. Because old is a reference here, I guess. And so it's allowing us to assign this reflection function to old, even though old we want to be a method instance, I guess. So I guess what this is going to do is this is going to turn into reflection function or method info. Let me just see. So actually, that feel like old name should be there regardless. And then maybe we can just inline this here. Oof. Yeah. Okay, so that might work now. This I think is just going to go to name. Actually, I guess we need to keep this. What are we doing here? Hey. I guess what we kind of want to do here is just create this method info up here. Right, and then we're going to set all of this here. I guess we want this assertion up here. I guess we could then do that. So this is going to be a new method test, and then setting that to info. All that goes away. Instead of method, we're going to be passing in info here. Let's just see what that does. That is a language construct. $483. Class test. I don't know. I guess what we can do is, I don't know. And then we'll change this info to method info. Where we're, okay. Okay. And now oh, I guess you need to set the namespace in here. That should solve some of that, but now we need to change these reflection methods to method info. So what does that make? Method test. I feel like I want to make guess we're gonna need the dang So info name is going to be the method name. Info class is going to be the class. Info file is going to be method get file name. And then info line is going to be the method get start line. Return info. So this is going to be actually, I guess I'll just call this method from reflection. What do we pass in to make method tests now? I think we just need the class info there. Which means this goes away. And this is going to be the class. So I think that what do we say? Method from reflection. I know that's probably gonna strange 275. Oh yeah, so this is gonna be what test. So where is this being called from? Oh, I guess we do need, okay, we do need let's sort that 289. So this does need to be a class test. So that means this goes to class, hack the class test name. I think that'll work. Okay. Well, wow, that fixed everything. I'm a little surprised by that. I guess because so what are we doing here? We're setting class test here. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Of course, this won't. I guess we're not actually setting any sort of like class fixture functions in our tests, so this probably I have a feeling there's a half chance that this is just going to break. But let's just so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are all the places we are setting that we are setting reflection methods. Now, okay, so nowhere in here are we using reflection method. So that's good, I guess. I guess we knew that. I guess we knew that. So, let me cut out of this. I think we're in a spot to commit that. Maybe I'll just push that up, make sure that still works. Although I suppose it doesn't really super matter. So, yeah. Make a private here for a second, make sure we are logged into GitHub. Looks like we are. Looks like we might be in good shape, although 3 and 2, 5.3 and 8.2 are going to be the places where I feel like things are most likely to go fooey on us. Okay, now actually, I think with that I'm going to take a like a quick bathroom break. So yeah, I'll be back in a few. All right. So I guess I will switch over um, reflection function, and I think I may call it a stream at that point. I'm not gonna lie, I have some depressingly cold coffee in my mug right now. But let's get into it. So we are going to now have, I guess, function info, and well, I guess I'm going to do the same thing here, where um, I'm going to just start this off empty. And add stuff in there as I sort it out. And we'll just change all of those and see what breaks. Wow, okay. A little bit more. A little bit more. But let's start off in discovery. So what do we have here? If it's an instance of a reflection class, otherwise, I guess we're going to have to do kind of the same sort of thing here. So we'll do that. We'll do info, I don't know. Actually, I guess, right, I just said I'm going to wait and see what we need. What do we got? 689. So I guess we need the file name and start line. Right, because we're doing this in validate runs. So we're saying and then 696, what's going on? That's going to be name, I guess. So that's going to be name. So where we do new function info now, we're going to need to set that. And I guess we're going to have to do that here. See what that does for us. Oh, gotta save all my files. Oh. That was silly of me. Extraordinarily silly. Okay. So it looks like dependency should be fairly straightforward here. And I guess this is just going to go back to there. Okay. Actually, I guess that'll probably... Oh, it didn't. Wonder why it didn't throw an error on that. That, hey, right, that should always... Right, file should always be a string. Should always be a string. That should always be a string. Because I feel like in the past it said, hey, you're asserting something that can never not be true. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, and I guess I can get rid of this comment. All right, what? Okay. So what is this? Add directory test from dependency. I guess what we're saying is, yeah, whatever adding the path. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Okay, so now we can get rid of that. Although, what were we, oh, for Christ's sake. What? Boy, I don't know what I screwed up there, but I really broke it. I really broke it something fierce. Okay, we at least have a compiling file now. And I guess because I am incapable of doing this, I'll just manually type this in. Wow, it's incredible. It's incredible. Okay, here we are on the clown train again. I don't know, I feel like I may have deleted like a valid here or something that I didn't want to. It looks like we may be okay there. All right. So I guess get callable function, we're gonna have to sort that out too, right? But this is going to go away. Let me just see if that clears that up. Yep. We'll come back to get callable function. . 517. So what are we expecting here? Run function. Okay, we'll sort that out, I guess, later. What is this? Run function. Okay. For 491, so 431 here. Row 2. Going to be setup. I guess we need to set that namespace then. Uh, so 196. This is going to go to namespace, I guess. Where did file and line come off of? I guess this is the setup file. And I guess we're just sticking name in there. I think, let me just, What line are we there? 396 or so. So file was coming off of setup. Right, yeah, okay. So that was setup file and line. Okay. So now we need get. And actually, what do we actually need down here? Okay, we just took that string. So this is going to be, I guess, more or less the same thing. So what are we here? We said result equals function. You may not need to insert that. And then just return the result. But I think this is going to turn into callable string. Let's see what we get there. So I wonder why this syncs, right? Why this syncs reflected. I feel like that should return a callable string. I mean, what if we change this to get name? And that should be the same thing, but um, okay, so what if I force Google to actually look for what I'm searching for? What happens if I just sort on that? Well, Okay, so I wonder why I feel like how could that ever not be callable? I wonder if I should open a bug report on that. I feel like that should be a bug report, personally. So what do we want to do here? I guess will that make that happy? Something still seems unhappy here. I guess because we're passing in the full info class and not just the name. Okay, so now we just got to sort out is that what's going on? Did I just not save? What is going on here? Oh, no? Okay, now what am I doing that's stupid? Callable string. Callable string. What? Oh, okay, well, that's what I'm doing stupid. We need to fix that function. All right. And we also need to stick the short name in there, I guess. And this is going to be what? Setup function file, setup function line. So let's see, namespace. Short name. And then I think we just have this last short name up here. $719. Now we should have some failing tests, I believe. What's here? This is going to be 214 here. So this is, I think this is going to turn into, what is this in here? Discover directory setup. I wonder, I guess we do need reflection here. But we'll create the function info here. And this is what I'm kind of thinking I could do. So this is going to go to function name. This is going to go to function, get namespace name. And this is going to go to token line, and then token, or no, file path. Let's just see how that looks. Okay, so now I feel like I want to pump this in one more. This is going to go to function info. Right, that's going to sort that out. Oh, I guess not that. So wait, what's the problem here? Validate fixture. Validate run fixture may need that too, but I guess we'll sort this out first. Is it 692? What is function here? Okay. Let's come back to these, I guess. 10. So 579 isn't a problem. 550, 536, 386 is. So what, parameter 3, so this is going to be, if I'm where I think I am, this will be function info. So let me just sort that out. Yeah. I think I already bumped that in, yeah. So 360. $345. And 245. And 226, I guess. Nope, not what I wanted you to do. That is what I wanted you to do. Okay, well. I guess what I do down here maybe. So this might be a little janky at the moment, but I guess what I'll do here is just do this for now. And now I think the only thing I have left to set up or sort out is is oh, this is just gonna go to line. Oh. All right, and now is a validate run fixture. Well, I guess we're saying this can only be a function info. Let's just see what that all breaks. So this is going to go to function line. Message is going to go to that's going to go to that. This is all going to go away. $706. What's wrong here? Oh yeah. And for 11, we're going to need to pass guess this is going to go to info, I think. Let's see if that works out. Yep. $219, it looks like. Although I guess I was bumping this in. So I have errors. What are my errors? Well, I suppose I'm first going to need to set up or fix. That, I suppose. So, where do we have? Method from reflection. So, result name is going to be the function name. A file is going to be that. Result namespace is going to be the function. Get namespace name. So edit file. So name, namespace. So let's just, oh, and then I guess that we need to call this. And actually, oof. All right. So where else are we doing? So we have more errors now. Too few arguments to function from reflection. Oh. Function info not found. I wonder why I'm trying to convert something to. Hey Splev, how are you? Thanks. Well, this is the framework running over here. I'm just trying to sort out whatever it is I'm messing up. Oh. How are you doing, by the way? Are you a PHP programmer or? Oh, that fixed everything. Okay. Uh, well, I am using static analysis, so that helps a lot. So if I, and I also, I have a little, if you are a PHP programmer, I have a little trick where I extend from uh, an abstract class called struct, where if I try and set or get any undefined properties, basically if I try and set any sort of dynamic property, it throws a error, which provides some runtime backup, but PHP stan also helps with trying to access things that don't exist. And most of the time, it even catches all of them too. Excuse me while I have a bite of banana here. And actually, I think I'll push this up to GitHub and see if this all passes. All right. And what was my commit messages? Use uh-oh. Did I bust my 50? I did. I guess function is too huh. Well, I guess we'll just delete that word. That sounds very cool. Do you have experience with embedded C programming, or is that just something you're interested in and trying to get into? Yeah, if you're familiar with Python, PHP kind of allows the same thing where you can just, yeah, set random properties onto your objects. What's going on here? Okay, well that one's so slow, my entire test suite passed. GitHub is hurting, I guess. I don't think it's my internet. I'm not dropping anything, am I? No, I've dropped 0 frames. Our test suite brought down GitHub. Sweet. Well, I don't know if you're still there, Spliv. My next project might be in C++. I kind of this test framework is just something I've been working on for a while, and PHP is kind of the language I started with, so I'm most familiar with it. So I figured this would be a good project to start streaming on, just because I would be most comfortable with the language and the project itself. But I've uh, I've been learning C lately and kind of C++ out of the feeling of necessity, but I very much enjoy C more, I would say. But just to kind of brush up or improve my C++, I might do my next project, like a desktop app, like a desktop GUI app with C++, and maybe Qt, just because I'd rather, I think, write my own UI framework, to be honest with you, or not framework, but just UI. But I also don't want to spend a year writing it, so I may just use Qt. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Oh, nice. Yeah, very cool. Yeah. So I feel like most people, they see PHP in my subject line and they're kind of like moving on, which is fine. Yeah, it's just it. Well, because it's so templatized and having to compile like the mock stuff, it just takes forever to compile. Because I have used it, just like in a project that I never really finished. Actually, probably be the project I would start basically from scratch again, but it just kind of takes forever to compile. It seems like, but I'm also just being a snobby programmer, I guess. When I'm like, I'm gonna write my own UI framework. I'm gonna throw out my banana peel. I'll be right back. Yeah, that's kind of the way I am. I'm not really a. I have languages I prefer, but every language has its ugly parts. So I think I might merge this into trunk. Um, so I'm in trunk. Guess I'll push that up. Yeah, true. I mean, I guess that's what we do, right? We code it. So if there's something we can code, we're gonna want to code it. I think I may be getting ready to wrap up here. Actually, Splev, I know you just joined, and I hate to like bounce right away, but I was kind of getting ready to wrap up here. I'm gonna go get some lunch for myself. Um, let's see what's in my to-do. What's left in my to-do besides sorting out my tests. So other than like going through and cleaning everything up, I feel like I have about 2 or 3 features left to implement, and then the rest of it's kind of like how much do I want to go sort out my tests. So I may start working on that. I don't know. Well, I appreciate you checking in, Splev. I usually stream during the week. I don't know what time zone you're in, but I'm in the Midwest of the U.S., so kind of in the afternoon, anywhere between like noon and 4 p.m. Central Time of the U.S. Although I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow. I actually have a job interview in the morning, so I don't know how that's going to go. And that's kind of why I also want to go, so I can spend some time preparing for that. Okay. Is that Europe? I don't know. I actually don't know that time zone. Yeah, Central Europe. Oh, about the job interview? Let me take one last look here through Discover, maybe. Yeah, it's really just a point where I need to come through and clean all this up. And I can streamline, with all the work I just got done doing, I can actually streamline this even more than it's already done. But yeah, I'm gonna go get something to eat and take care of some things I have to do. Appreciate you stopping in the chat there, Splev, if you're still there. And also, if anybody's lurking or ends up watching this on the VOD afterwards, I also thank you for joining me. But in the meantime, until the next stream, then whoever or wherever or whenever you are, I bid you peace and take care.